Hey Ray. Oh, my name is Ray. I am the Associate Director of Admissions at FIU. I'm sorry, Assistant Director of Admissions at FIU. I'm also a two-time alum. I got my bachelor's in psychology and I got my master's in higher education. So I'm definitely a true Panther. So I'm going to go ahead and start the presentation and hope you guys enjoy it. Okay. So FIU's history. So we were built on an abandoned airfield back in the day. In 1979, we were a airport field. We used to be called Tamiami Airport. And when we opened, we only gave associate degrees. And now we offer over 57,000 students, 200 plus degree organizations, range from bachelor's, master's, and PhD programs. We have 3+1 programs, so we can get your master's underneath the 6-year mark. Our tuition is listed on the screen as well. And like was mentioned earlier, we do give a lot of opportunities for scholarships, and I'll go into that shortly. FIU is considered a preeminent institution. We're one of 3 schools in Florida that offer that. So it's FIU, University of Florida, and Florida State University. We're the only schools that are considered preeminent in the state of Florida, which means our student population has shown resilience in their academics. Our average GPAs are a 4.1 to a 4.5. Our average SAT scores range between 1295 to 1380, and our average ACT score range between 827 to 830. Now let's talk about rankings. Yes, FIU has continuously shown how great of institution that we are based on the students and based on the opportunities we give our students, right? So this year we have increased from top 4 institution in the country to top 3 institution in the country from Public University Washington Monthly. We are the top 50 public school in the country from Wall Street Journal. We do have a high ranking in best value in university, best ROI. So a lot of our students graduate debt free, if not with a lot of opportunities from scholarships, research funding, and grants. And 50% of our tuition or our students are eligible, as well on top of the additional grants that we're able to offer our students that are in need. All right. At our campus, we have a few different campuses for you to choose from. All right. Modesto campus is the main campus here at FIU. That houses about 80% of our programs here. Basically, nursing, hospitality, is listed at a Biscayne Bay campus. We have our engineering computer science at our Modesto campus. We have our architecture, which is one of our 4+1 programs, and the list goes on and on. Okay, at our Biscayne Bay campus, like I said, we have our hospitality, but we also have marine bio. Our marine bio is one of the only campuses and programs in the country that has an underwater campus. Our dean has been on Shark Week a few times. Right now, we are on National Geographic for our coral reef research. Our hospitality program, we're linked with Food Network. We also have partnership with Royal Caribbean, Carnival Cruise Line, and Disney. Right now, we are building a school in Jamaica to connect ourselves with, like you said earlier, with hotels like Sandals and other hotels to actually give more opportunity to our students. And also, we're trying to build a campus in Barbados. We're waiting for that contract to solidify. We have our partnership with NASCAR as far as robotics with engineering. We also have a partnership with Ford. They give a lot of scholarship to our students and internship opportunities. Segueing to internships, we have our Handshake app that is housed underneath our career service and development. So the one of the reasons why I picked FIU is that you don't have to wait until like the summer to do an internship or anything like that. You can start doing that as soon as you start going to school. So going to school in Miami, a city, is very beneficial for that reason, because getting a degree, a lot of the students are getting that, but having a well-riched, well-rounded, and at a school that's going to encourage you and also supply opportunities for you to get those experiences is important. So that is one of the keys of being a Panther at FIU, is that you're not just going to class and just doing like the homecoming stuff and then going to sleep. You're actually going to get bitten by that bug to actually want to do more with your time, with your degree, and actually coordinate, network with other peers, and be very successful and have a more robust experience as a Panther. The other three campuses are more major specific. So engineering center is for our engineering computer science majors. That's pretty much like where you're going to be surrounded by gaming, designs, Internet of Things, where you learn how to hack in computers. We have partnerships with the FBI, so a lot of our students do internships with that. Okay. Our I-75 is pretty much more for our adult campus. So a lot of night and weekend courses are hosted there. And at FIU downtown at Brickell is pretty much for our business students. They do classes at Medicinal Medique, which is MMC, and their last year or two for internship proximity initiatives. Uh, and also we do a lot with another Fortune 500 company, which is Bacardi. That's one of our partners, and right now it's Art Basel. So Bacardi's a huge, very huge partner in Art Basel. Art Basel is only host in Miami, is the only place in the US that happens a huge hospitality and art mecca event. And for Bacardi to be one of our partners, a lot of our students do a lot with that event. Art Basel is hosted in Wynwood. So when you go through Wynwood, you will see a huge sign that says FIU. So with that being said, right now it's Art Basel season, so a lot of our students are doing a lot of events, internships, a lot of business networking. So we're always movers and shakers. So being in Brickell is pretty much being in the heart of all of that, especially not being far from Miami Heat Arena, not being far from the Marlins Arena. If you're interested in sports management, physical therapy, that would be a great opportunity for you as well. Okay, and this just to give you a glimpse of the different schools and colleges that we offer. I did mention a lot of our undergraduate programs, but we do have some premier graduate programs. We do have a medical school on campus that has been around for about 10 years. It has risen the ranking since. We do have our early assurance, which is pretty much like a accelerated route. So if any student that's interested in medical, but also become a part of our honors college, then you can do the early assurance. You can apply for medical school your second year of college. If you're a granted admissions, all you'll do is graduate and get the testing score from the MCAT needed, and then you solidify your spot. We do get 100% passing rate with that because we alleviate the stress of trying to worry about the MCAT score, worry about interviews, et cetera, et cetera. So that is one. And our law school, we do have a fully working law school on campus. It's ranked number 1 in Florida. In the last 5 years in a row, we were ranked number 1. This year, we were only ranked number 2 by only 2 points. So by next year, we'll be right back in number 1. Our average amount of students that pass the bar on the first try is about an 86 to 88% passing rate. Okay. And that gives you a little bit of a glimpse of our colleges and schools. We do have a really great nursing program as well. We have 2-star labs that mimic hospital floors. They have robots that give pain noises, labor, mechanical arms, so you can practice blood drawn. They have premier technology to kind of get you used to what is housed in the hospitals. And we're partnered with 2 major hospitals in Miami, one being Jackson and the other being Joe DiMaggio. Okay. Now, the fun stuff. Being a Panther. Yes. Being involved in FIU is a Panther indeed. We have 300 plus clubs and organizations for you to choose from. When I was attending at FIU, I did Black Student Union. I did Homecoming, Student Government Association, and Caribbean Student Association. I am a daughter of 2 Jamaican parents, one from Port Antonio, one from Port Moore. So definitely it was great. And I was part of student CSA with Private Ryan. So if you guys ever heard of DJ Private Ryan ever, he was a part of student CSA at FIU, and he's also an FIU alum. So a lot of great things to happen at FIU. We have a lot of Division I sports. So if you're interested in like what we call soccer, you guys call football. And we have swimming, we have track, field, all of that, and they're all Division I, and they also offer scholarship opportunities as well. Okay. Housing. Now, housing we offer on campus. They're freshman preferred. There are no communal bathrooms. Everything's apartment suite style. The photos on this website is not Photoshop. I know a lot of times you get catfish when you go and see stuff on college campuses website, and then you go there like, what is this? Not at FIU. This is legit how it looks in person. And you can pick your roommate if your roommate picks you back, or we pick your roommates based off your surveys that you fill out. We also have opportunities where you can have your own room, or you can have a roommate in your room, or you can have roommates in your apartment suite. So you get to decide. Each layout has different financial abilities. So they range between $2,500 to $3,000 a semester. Okay. Now, FIU does offer scholarships so all of them are merit-based. They're not based on residency or location. They're all about what you did in school. So GPA and test scores for the most part. So you can apply for them. Our first deadline for early action is December 3rd. So if you're interested in being part of our presidential merit scholarship opportunity, you need to have your application completed with everything by December 3rd. Okay. Now that entails your application fee, your test scores, sorry, and your high school transcripts. Okay. I do get questions about what that really means for my international students. So I'm gonna get into that right now, which is leading me to the admissions process. Yay! Questions? Yes. So admissions, like I said before, so our applications really open August 1st, but the early action deadline is December 3rd. One question I'll get is that the only application? If I don't apply by December 3rd, am I out of gas? No. December 3rd is just if you're interested in applying early and or if you're wanting to be put in our presidential merit scholarship pool. Okay. Our presidential merit scholarship, if you are awarded, you're granted 100% of tuition and books. Okay. For my out-of-state students, so that's domestic or international, what that scholarship will do for you is it will put you into in-state tuition. Okay. And then you will get blue and gold to help offset the in-state tuition costs as well. Okay. So that is how that presidential merit scholarship will be housed this year. Okay. We do have 2 other deadlines, one in January, one in February. So if you do not meet the December 3rd deadline, you still have time to apply. Now, I do get questions regarding, if I have CAPE, do you still need SAT or ACT? We still need it. Okay. CAPE for us just helps weights your GPA even more. So the more CAPE or IB classes you've acquired will just make your GPA go even higher for us. So it's more of a benefit for you than it is for anything else. And we have a credit by exam equivalency. So based off the scores that you have accumulated from that, will determine what classes you'll get. So then not only would it make your GPA go up higher, it will also bring the amount of classes you will need to take down lower. So you end up saving a lot of money. Okay. So SAT is not an option. You still have to do and submit your SAT and or ACT to us. If you're able to take the CLT, we'll accept that as well. Okay. If you have a CSET certificate, when you do request to send your transcripts, make sure you send all your certificates with it as well. Okay. Now, when you complete your application, so that's application, high school transcripts, application fee and or waiver, and test scores, we will look at you for all our different pathways. We will deal with all of our different pathways, okay? So we have our fall pathway, our summer STEM, spring, and our STEP, okay? So once we see everything, then we'll go ahead and give you a decision on the pathway that best will meet your academic success. And this just goes over the deadlines all over again. So for early action, so that includes both fall and summer, that will be December 3rd. Okay. Now, we do have opportunities to visit campus, both in person and virtually, okay? So if you have any additional questions regarding admissions and stuff like that, we do have a virtual session that we run every Thursday from 3 to 4 Eastern time, where you can have the same presentation, but you're able to ask questions. We also have a drop-in question virtual session that you can sign up for. So if you're having any additional questions regarding your application process, you can sign up for that and drop in for 10 minutes or whatever time that you need, and then we're there to assist you. Another virtual session that you have available is anything to do with Financial Aid Fridays. We're going to talk about scholarships, application workshop if you have questions about your application, honors college if you have questions about honors college and the benefits that they offer. You can do that all virtually if you cannot be there in person. Okay, we do a lot of events on campus. We will be uploading our site regarding our admitted student receptions as well. Okay, now that concludes my actual presentation regarding FIU. If you have any questions, I'll be here to assist. If someone could moderate them to me, and I can go ahead and answer that to you guys.
Sharika, could you go ahead and moderate the questions, please?
Sure. Could you just repeat what was said about the CAPE weighing and the GPA?
Yeah, so CAPE gets two benefits. It weighs your GPA higher. So typically if someone has completed at least lower 6, their GPA ends up being around a 3.6 to a 3.8 when we do the recalculations. Okay. Also, CAPE can turn into a college credit. Okay. And we have that on our transfers.fi.edu site. I can send that link so you guys can look at all the charts so that you can see like, okay, if I took this course, it can equal this class. There are also like some sciences that equal 2 classes. And or the anatomy, you take a CAPE anatomy 1, I believe it counts for 4 classes. So it counts for 2 things.
Okay, thank you for that. Next question. Do you have cybersecurity in the master's program?
We do. We have it in the master's. We also can make that a 4+1 should you show elite academic excellence. They can go ahead and accommodate you to make that a 4+1.
Okay. Could you show back the table where you show them the deadlines for early decision document submission?
So the deadline will be December 3rd.
December 3rd. All right, then thank you.
You're welcome.
What is the deadline for applications for transfer students for January 2025?
For transfers for January 2025, it will be December 1st.
Is there a particular campus only for architecture students?
Yes. So that will be the Modesto Medici campus. You'll be there. The way that admissions work for architecture is that you have to do our application process first. And then the next step would be to do the portfolio. Okay. The portfolio, our portfolio isn't as intense as other schools, from what I'm hearing. All we require is a personal statement, and then they give you 3 images to draw. They're not looking for the images to be any level, but they do analyze it, and they do have like a committee to kind of go over the way you draw the images and the personal statement that goes with it.
Okay, great. And where am I? Do you offer aviation?
Aviation, we offer aerospace engineering as a minor or a certificate. If a student is looking to mainly major into aviation, whether it's more on the ATC side, the technical side, engineering, or even to learn how to fly, FIU may not be the best choice for that, but we do have a few school options in Florida that offers that. One being Florida Technical and Florida Memorial University and Florida Atlantic University.
Okay. I know you said that CAPE does play a weight, but what if a person did not go through the sixth form program?
If the student go through the 6-1 program, they can still apply. That's no problem. It's just that it does put you in a better situation when it comes to applying, because again, our averages are really high. And my most successful students do have CAPE completed.
So it's not required, but recommended.
Yes. Yes, I will only say that because of what I've seen, and I want to make sure you guys are successful. Students from Jamaica are near and dear to me, so I want to give you guys the best opportunity advice as possible.
Okay, great. What would be the admission requirements for the cybersecurity master's program? I'll be completing my bachelor's in business administration.
For the masters, since I only partake in the bachelor's, I can only tell you that the masters, they have their steps listed on their website, because graduate schools are changing how they do their requirements. Some are still requesting GRE, some don't. So that's something to look into. We also have a graduate virtual session to kind of go over all the different majors and the different requirements for that students who are interested in the grad school to register for. And also each major has different deadlines. They don't have like a one strict deadline. So it's a little bit more than just saying what is required. It is best if that you guys can email me, and then I can direct you to the right information possible, and then set you up with our graduate admissions.
Okay, great. Thank you for that. Are Caribbean residents guaranteed in-state tuition?
So students are not guaranteed in-state tuition unless they meet our in-state guidelines. And the guidelines for Florida is that you have to show that you are a resident of Florida for at least 12 months or more. And the way you show that, by either being with their voter's registration, rental agreement, job, car registration. We have a whole list, okay? If a student is 24 or younger, your residency is solely based on your parent or legal guardian. Okay? Now, residency and Florida residency and being a citizen are two different things. You could be a U.S. citizen and still pay out-of-state fees. Okay, so that's one. Two, if you are a student at FIU and you want to establish residency, you can. However, if you're 24 or younger, you have to really show proof that you're only dependent on yourself. So that's the only difference.
Okay. What are the admission requirements for U.S. citizens that attend high school in Jamaica?
The admission requirement is the same across the board, whether you are in state or out of state.
Okay.
You have to meet our admissions. The residency is only impacted by tuition. That
Okay.
lets us know what tuition rate to give you.
All right then. This person said they tried sending their transcript electronically,
Mhm.
but the website listed on FIU's page supported international students. They had sent it via email, but they're not sure if their documents will reach in time for December 3rd. Will that affect the evaluation of their application?
If you send it to me, I should be getting through my emails today. And it will be usually it takes about less than 24 hours for it to be put into the system.
Okay. And your email is mray@fiu.com, correct?
Correct. And that's like Wray and nephew.
Okay. Do you offer material engineering?
Material or mechanical?
It's probably mechanical.
We offer mechanical engineering, not at FIU. Mechanical engineering, biomedical engineering, and both of that we're offer that both in the bachelor's and master's level.
Okay. I have already applied to FIU, and I noticed on my portal that I have copy of passport, declaration of
Yes. Yes, I was waiting for someone to ask that. Good. That is the DCF checklist. So students that are international, they get a DCF checklist populated onto their modded FIU account. The checklist basically requests passport, bank letter, sponsor letter, and I believe that's it, right? Bank letter, sponsor letter, and passport. Students will need to complete that in order to get an I-20. Now, I do get questions like, okay, what is this sponsor letter about? So there is a declaration of finance, that's what DCF stands for, that breaks down what liquid access you have to prove. Typically, it's up to 2 years worth of tuition. Okay. You can have multiple people to say they sponsor you. There is no cap. But each bank letter or bank statement has to show liquid assets. The passport of your parents, if you're dependent, if not, then just of yours, will need to be uploaded onto your document. And everything has to the bank letter and the liquid assets has to match, and the bank letter and the sponsor letters, the amount of money has to add up together and have to match what you have that's listed on the Declaration of Finance chart. And I can send that to you guys as well. Okay. If you're bringing in any scholarships, you deduct the amount. So like, let's say for example, for math purposes, if the overall amount is 10,000, but you're bringing in $5,000 of scholarships, then you only need to prove liquid assets for 5,000. Okay. Should students have like difficulty with doing the DCF, we do have a virtual session for our international students to go over the I-20 process. My main suggestion is to make your appointment, because getting all that other stuff is very easy, but setting up an appointment with the embassy is the hardest thing. So always make an appointment expeditiously if you can, so that we can get, so at least the document part is like something that we can get done.
Okay, thank you for that. What would make someone a suitable candidate for the presidential scholarship as an international student?
Well, it's not about international or not international, because that application, that scholarship is mainly about academics. Okay. And they're doing it differently this year, because before we used to have it where they have the requirements on the actual scholarship site, and students will at least know the minimum requirement they need to have to apply. Now we will auto apply the students into the pool, and what they're going to do is take the 10% of who apply. So it's a little bit different. The average student that does apply has at least a 4.0 GPA, a 1290 SAT score, and a 28 ACT score.
Okay, I think we have answered all the questions.
Oh, no. Okay.
Wait, someone said the question. You said the DCF is required as an international student before acceptance, right?
DCF? No. You could the admissions is separate from DCF. So we encourage students to start the process, just in case they do get admitted, they're already ahead of the game. But that is something that we recommend students who are admitted to complete.
Would a 1400 SAT score be good enough?
It depends on the GPA, but that's a good start.
It's a good start. Okay.
Did we already talk about the SAT being a requirement? You probably covered that, right, Marie?
Yes, ma'am.
The SAT is a requirement.
Correct.
Yes. Did she respond to the question about a high SAT score assisting with matriculation if the child only has C-section?
Okay, yes.
It looks like we're done, Sharika. Are we done?
Yeah.
Anybody with any other questions?
Just to reiterate, the email is mwray, so MWRAY at FIU.edu.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, well, Marie, I just want to thank you so much on behalf of all the students, parents who are here, who are going to be catching the recording. Thank you so much for your time today and for giving so much information. We sure do appreciate it. And from what I'm seeing here, I really think that your application numbers from this side of the world will certainly be up, and we certainly look forward to welcoming more students on your campus.
Oh, yay. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate that. Hopefully you'll see me in the spring, but if not, next fall. Congratulations to you and all of the students. You guys are bright and amazing. You have a wonderful staff that really cares about you guys. So please enjoy it. Happy holidays. And thank you guys again.
Thank you, everyone. Take care. Remember to email if you have any questions. Thank you so much, Sharika.
You're welcome. Bye, guys.